Okay, good afternoon and a very warm welcome, parents, carers, families, and of course our new Year 7 pupils. Delighted to have you here online this afternoon. I'm Dan Botting, the principal at Bobbymore Academy, and it's a real pleasure to speak with you, even though we can't host this event on site at this time. I wanted to start by thanking you, first of all, not only for your attendance this afternoon, but also for choosing BMA. And I hope that you find this afternoon useful in finding out a bit more about the journey to Year 7. After today's session, we'll be sending out packs of information about all of the things that you need ready for September. Today is a bit of a chance to hear more about our Year 7 provision and a chance for you to submit any questions in the chat, which we'll endeavour to answer at the end of today's session. We're really excited about our new Year 7 cohort joining in September 2021. We're really looking forward to meeting you all at the start of the academic year. When school term starts on Thursday, September the 2nd, we'll be having a full induction programme for our Year 7s, which is specifically designed to answer and deal with the kinds of things that a remote event can't cope with. But for today, I'd like to start just by reminding parents and pupils about the vision that we as a school have. Our aim is to broaden the horizons of the young people of East London by providing a world-class education, which is transformational in its impact. If we move on to the next slide, this is built around our values as a school, which we'll hear about in a few moments' time. Talking about the values and the practices here, we have some key members of the team who are going to be online this afternoon. Miss Begum, our head of Year 7, Dr. O'Toole, who is our assistant principal in charge of behaviour and pastoral care. Although he's not on the call this afternoon, Mr. Patterson, our head of secondary, is also very much looking forward to welcoming pupils and to meeting families once we get fully underway in September. Next slide, thank you. So our values are really at the heart of everything that we do as a school at Bobbymore. We look for our pupils to show these in every lesson, every interaction, every day. And this is how our pupils play their part in the great learning that happens here within the school. And so we make sure that there are opportunities for us to recognise when pupils are achieving those values. Aspiration and ambition sitting alongside the courage and respect that we expect to see from our young people at all times. And I'm really excited that next week at our end of year celebration, BMA Day, I'll be awarding, of course, some principals' commendations to those of our pupils who have really shown those values and lived those to an exceptional standard throughout this year. But why do those values matter so much to us? Because really what we want to make sure is that we as a school are empowering young people with choice about their future. We want to make sure that they are able to be equipped through school with what they need in order to choose for themselves what path they may wish to follow in life after leaving school, whether that's going on to the best university, a fulfilling role within their community, a prestigious career, whatever aspiration it may be that they have. We want to make sure that we are providing that for them. And as a school, we know that part of that is around performance in public examinations. Those are the hard currency, those GCSE and A-level and BTEC certificates are the things that will open doors to our young people. They are essential for them to achieve at 16 and 18. And I'm really delighted that our current GCSE cohort are on track to achieve significantly above national average results. But of course, we know that examinations alone may open the doors, but what we want to do is to equip our young people with the confidence to step through those doors to pursue their paths in life. And so alongside this, we want to make sure we are instilling them with a real effective set of skills for learning and giving them the powerful knowledge that will enable them to go beyond just what they experience in their day-to-day life, a knowledge and a type of learning that takes them from where they are currently at the end of primary education right the way up to the doorstep of universities and the professional world. We also want to make sure that pupils have the opportunities to challenge the received wisdom about what matters most in their learning, making sure that as well as this deep understanding in their subjects that they'll build up, that they have the chance to really question and critique the opportunities that are there, to be those critical thinkers, and also to build their resilience, their ability to withstand setbacks in their learning. And I'm sure that's something which many of them will have great stories to tell us about their experience over the course of this academic year. At the heart of all of this is, of course, delivering that transformational education. And that is not a one-person job. That's not something that any individual pupil can achieve by themselves, nor can it be that any one member of staff can do so. So we need these effective relationships that really are at the forefront of what we are achieving as a school. You'll have a chance, as I say, to hear a little bit more about from Miss Begum, our head of Year 7, who's really excited to be having the chance to build those relationships with families and with pupils as we go into Year 7. We want to make sure that those relationships extend to their peer group, having really high quality opportunities for pupils to bond and share experiences, forge those friendships and interactions that are going to carry them through the school community over the course of the next 5 years, 7 years, through to sixth form and indeed beyond. We want to make sure that we, as a school community at BMA, are giving back to the community in the same way as our community has supported us throughout this academic year. So if we move on to the next slide, I think it's important to just share with parents and pupils a little bit of the journey that we have been on as a school. Over the past 4 years since opening, we have Year 7 through to 10 in the secondary phase, and in our primary phase, pupils from reception through to Year 2. Earlier on this academic year, we were awarded the Secondary Academy of the Year prize by the David Ross Education Trust, of which we are a part. And of course, this September, bringing in our 5th cohort of Year 7 pupils takes us to having a full school through Year 7 to 11. And then further developments coming up. The sixth form opening in September 2022 is a really exciting project for us. And alongside this, we're already building partnerships with a fantastic selection of our new neighbours here within the Olympic Park. What a fantastic opportunity to have UCL's East Campus right next door, having a world-class university right on our doorstep. And alongside that, we've been working with outreach programs from the University of the Arts London. Their College of Fashion opening next door will be a really exceptional contributor to both creative arts in the local area, but also to our provision here within the school. The BBC Music Studios, the Victoria and Albert Museum's new collection, all of this alongside things like our existing projects with the BBC Symphony Orchestra and the Bath Festival Orchestra are just going to be more opportunities for our young people to really broaden those horizons and to experience things which are going to have a fantastic impact on their further education. And as we look a little bit further ahead, I'm going to be very excited when in 2025 the primary pupils from our current primary phase will step up to join Year 7, and at that point we will have the full spectrum right the way through from reception in early years all the way through to Year 13, and to be a complete school. And that is something that our current cohort, our incoming cohort of Year 7s are going to have a huge role to play in. So if we move on to the next slide. At the centre of how we are going to deliver this is the high expectations that we as a school set of ourselves and of our young people. We make sure that all of our teachers are experts in their academic fields. Secondary is really a fantastic chance for pupils to learn from that expertise, from that really high standard of academic disciplines that exist across all of those subject areas that they will be studying. And alongside that, we make sure that we're also at the forefront of teaching and learning practice. We expect, therefore, for our pupils to make the most of these opportunities. That is about being focused in lesson time. That is about making sure that we meet the expectations on attendance, on uniform, on equipment, so that every moment in class is valued and is contributing to the transformational education that they will receive. We do this through what we call a warm, strict approach. Of course, we have clear rules and we do expect them to be followed, and we know that our pupils consistently make great choices. That is something which is recognised and celebrated, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later on this afternoon. As many of you know, we are a no mobile phone school, so if we see or hear mobile phones, expect them to be confiscated. They should be turned off and in the bottom of a bag if they are brought into school at all. When we communicate with pupils in the same way as we do in lessons, this is the same around the school, we're clear about what to do, because what we want is to make sure that pupils understand what is expected of them, because that sets the benchmark for success, and that enables them to rise and be supported to rising to these high expectations. This is how we deliver really excellent teaching in the classroom. This is how we stay safe and have an orderly and purposeful and focused environment around the school. And these high expectations are at the cornerstone of our respectful school community. And these are really upheld by senior figures within the school, such as our pupil house captains and vice captains, but also opportunities for pupils right throughout the school to be demonstrating all of these things. Okay, if we move on to the next slide, thank you. We talk a lot here at Bobby Moore about what we call the BMA way, the Bobby Moore Academy way of doing things. I've spoken already about our vision for delivering transformational education and the values that we place at the heart of that, and about the high expectations which we set. We make sure that there is a high quality academic curriculum in every single curriculum area. Not only does our curriculum match what pupils are entitled to through the national curriculum, we go above and beyond that to make sure that every young person here at Bobby Moore has their full entitlement in terms of being able to access the very best of what has been thought and said, and indeed to challenge whether that is the case. We want to make sure that pupils understand that our systems and processes are fair and transparent. That is both in terms of rewards and praise and recognition, and also in terms of sanctions when pupils sometimes get things wrong. We also have a really exciting and broad co-curricular offer, enrichment opportunities which go beyond the academic disciplines which we have in our classrooms, and provide different opportunities for pupils to learn in terms of the subjects and topics that are available, but also different opportunities for them to interact in terms of their peer group, perhaps even with other years as well, and forge different relationships with staff, whether that's in terms of sport, in terms of debating, and you'll hear all sorts of information about the co-curricular offer a little bit later on this afternoon. And it is through all of these things that we as a school deliver the world-class education that our young people are entitled to. And what I look forward to is that in 5 years, 7 years time, as our young people who are currently about to embark on their journey with us as year 7s in September, as they are finishing their public examinations, as they are opening their A-level results in August of 2028, and we are looking forward to the fantastic success that they are going on to at university and in career offers, that we will be able to be saying that the education that we have provided through working together in partnership, home and school working as one, that has had a genuinely transformational impact on the life chances and opportunities of our young people. So without further ado, I will hand over to Miss Begum, head of year 7, to talk you through the some of the welcome processes and the next steps. Miss Begum, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Botting. Good afternoon, parents, carers and pupils. I'm Miss Begum, head of year 7. I am absolutely thrilled to be your head of year and cannot wait to meet you all in September. I might even get a chance to teach you if you are in my English class, so definitely look forward to that. Many of you are probably filled with mixed emotions about starting secondary school. It will be strange at first, moving to a larger school with more people around you. Don't panic. As your head of year, along with your form tutors and subject teachers, we will help you settle in and start an incredible journey here at Bobby Moore Academy. You will no doubt have lots and lots of questions. Hopefully, by the end of the induction, you will have answers to some of your questions, if not most of your questions. Next slide, please. To begin with, I want to highlight our expectations on uniform, equipment, and mobile phones. Mr. Botting earlier mentioned the importance of keeping those mobile phones switched off and in your bags. I will talk about our policy on mobile phones in a bit more detail. All students at Bobby Moore Academy are dressed in full uniform. Our uniform is always impeccable. We present ourselves in a neat and tidy fashion. Our uniform expectations are the following. Top buttons are fastened, shirts are tucked into our trousers or skirts, skirts are not rolled up. Hair is a natural colour and does not contain any beads or coloured decoration. A simple black hairband may be worn to keep the hair tidy. Hairband should not be a decorative bow. If your hair is beneath the collar, it should be tied back for safety reasons. You can tie it fully back or have it half up, half down. No makeup, including lip gloss. No nail varnish, gel or false nails. The only jewellery or accessory that you will be allowed to wear, you can wear a watch or a single plain gold or silver stud of no more than 5 millimeters in diameter. Nose piercings are not allowed. Full details on our uniform policy is available on our website. All students must have their equipment with them every day for every lesson. You will need your pencil case on the first day of school. So I will reiterate that when you arrive on Thursday, the 2nd of September, you must have your pencil case with you. Make sure you pack that in your bag the night before. To give you an insight, our current Year 7 students have created a short video to demonstrate uniform, equipment, and share some highlights of being in Year 7.
I'm Sahela.
I'm Ikram.
I'm Keita.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Adeline.
We are in Year 7 and here to share our experiences with you.
Students have to wear their grey blazers, red and yellow ties, and a white collared shirt with the top button fastened. Hair beyond shoulder length should be tied up fully or half up, half down. Students who wear a hijab should wear a plain grey or black one to match their uniform.
As well as this, students must wear school trousers or skirts. Shirts must be tucked into trousers and skirts. Skirts should not be rolled up nor be higher than their knees. Grey or black socks and black formal shoes.
We are in class. We take out our planners, our reading books, pencil cases, and our merit cards.
As part of your equipment, you need a scientific calculator, pens, pencils, a highlighter, whiteboard pen, protractor, ruler, compasses, eraser, sharpener, a glue stick, and a pencil case. If you forget your equipment or misplace it, you can always go to the library and buy a replacement.
Bobby Moore, we study English, Math, Science, History, Geography, MFL, DT, IT, Ethics and Morals, PE, Drama, Music and more.
You should use your break and lunch times to eat, use the bathroom and fill up your water bottle, as you won't be able to do these in lesson time.
After school clubs run from 3:10 to 4:15 and vary every day. Each year group has a selected day for sports clubs and many other co-curriculars run daily. Homework club runs every day from 3:10 to 3:40 and is a chance to complete work and fix technical issues.
In the library, you can play fun games such as cards and chess. You can read books and complete homework. If you want to take books home, you may speak to the librarian.
There are two types of awards given out in BMA, merits and house points. Merits are given for achievements and great contributions in and out of post.
House points are awarded for excellence, courage, respect, and ambition.
Students receive rewards badges when they receive 100 house points.
Thank you for being attentive. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the video and you are eager to arrive here in September and start your journey at Bobby Moore Academy. Next slide, please. Our policy on mobile phones outlines pupils are not allowed to use a mobile phone during the school day. Their phones must be kept switched off in their bags. This is also the same for smartwatches. If you need to contact your child, so parents and carers, if you need to contact your child during the school day, you should call the main reception and the school will get the message to your child. For non-urgent inquiries or information, please use the contact us at bobbymooreacademy.co.uk email address. All relevant information will be given to you at the end of the event in your welcome pack. Next slide, please. The reason we have this policy on mobile phones is because teenagers need at least 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night for healthy development. Researchers have found poor quality sleep associated with late night mobile phone usage. As a result of this is linking to a decline in mental health, such as depressed moods and declines in self-esteem and coping ability. As with everything, we need to teach our pupils how to use mobile phones and internet-enabled devices safely. We have included on the screen some guidance for managing mobile phones and internet-enabled devices. So what you could do as a parent or carer is make sure that there are physical boundaries set, not allowing mobile phones or internet-enabled devices in the bedrooms after a set time, using separate alarm clock, turning off the Wi-Fi, putting limits on the amount of data that can be used, controlling the passwords for all devices and apps, and being good role models yourself and putting your phone and tablet away too. Another way that you can manage this is by taking an interest in what they do online, talking about the social media sites that they use and who they follow, and of course, agreeing to house rules on when and for how long they can go online and which sites they can access. Together as a school, we will communicate with you. Students will also cover these topics in their PSHE sessions. Next slide, please. Moving on to parent pay. We use this system at Bobby Moore Academy so you can make payments for meals, clubs, trips, uniform, and more. Parents and carers can securely pay for school items online at a time convenient for them. More information on how to set up parent pay will be communicated in due course. As a school, we ensure our communication with parents is regular. We will communicate with you through MCAS, My Child at School app, letters and phone calls when necessary. Sometimes I understand that parents wish to contact us during school hours. I'd like to really stress that staff at Bobby Moore Academy are on a full timetable. Tutors, head of years and senior leadership team all teach throughout the school day, so it may not always be possible to contact us directly straight away. Therefore, the first point of contact should be through the My Child at School app. We will mainly use this to communicate with you, and details of this will be shared in the pack which follows the event. If it is something urgent, we want you to keep us informed. So please do email contact us at bobbymooreacademy.co.uk. Next slide, please. Moving on to rewards and sanctions. At Bobby Moore Academy, we recognise, praise and reward excellence. Merit cards are an integral part of this, as well as house points. On the rare occasion that pupils do not meet our high expectations and fail to conform to the Bobby Moore way, we will use sanctions. I will return to the sanctions shortly, but I just want to go through the list of rewards that are in place. You are awarded house points for excellent work, demonstrating virtues and making strong contributions in classroom. Your merit cards are with you throughout the school day. You are awarded merits in the classroom and outside of the classroom for demonstrating virtues. You will also receive praise from teachers and mutual respect. We will make sure we take time out of our day to make those positive phone calls and send postcards or letters home. Many students will also receive badges once they complete the merit cards or reach a certain number of house points. And of course, during our whole year group assembly and end of term assemblies, certificates and public praise will also take place. So lots and lots of things to look forward to there. Next slide, please. Sanctions take place after school. The only sanction that will take place at lunchtime is if you are late to school. If you are late to school, you will sit your late detention at lunchtime. At Bobby Moore Academy, we encourage 100% attendance and punctuality. We want you in school every day, term time, so we can offer you a transformational learning experience and to celebrate your achievements. If we just look at the statistics on the screen, if you have 80% or less attendance across your school career, that's missing a whole 2 years from school. Even being just 5 minutes late every day, you will miss 3 days of learning each year. And if that then ends up being 15 minutes late every day, that's missing 2 full weeks of school. That is not what we want for you. We want you here so we can offer you the best education. Next slide, please. Now, one of the most common reasons why so many pupils arrive at school late is because they have overslept. It is absolutely crucial that as a parent or carer, you help support your child to build a routine. Year 7s, you need to make sure that you are in bed at the right time. A good bedtime is really helpful in order to plan the evening routine that will allow you to get enough sleep at night. Not going to bed at the right time can lead to sleep deprivation. Consequently, your child's concentration and memory will noticeably be affected and they will be grumpy. A lack of sleep is a major risk factor for mistakes and poor decision making. And if that's what's happening in school, then you're going to start getting more and more sanctions. We want you to get more and more rewards. Secondary school day will be longer than usual, with co-curricular and enrichment activities taking place after school. Pupils will be moving around a lot throughout the day, and we will need to be attentive in every lesson. Some of your subjects, Year 7, will have double lessons, either in the morning or afternoon, so getting enough sleep is vital. You need to try and aim to be in bed between 8:30 to 9. Parents and carers, please make sure that your child is in bed between 8:30 to 9, so at least they can get 9 to 10 hours of sleep. Year 7, your transformational learning starts from the first day of school. Through your tutor time program, the subjects that you will study, and the PSHE lessons. You will also be rewarded for making the right choices from the first day of school, and we will celebrate these achievements in year group assemblies. On that note, I'm going to pass on to Dr. O'Toole to talk about pastoral care at Bobby Moore Academy, the tutor time program, assembly and PSHE.
Next slide, please. Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you all, even if it is not face to face. So we recognise at Bobby Moore Academy that it can be a difficult transition from primary school to secondary school for not just pupils, but also their families. And that is because the school is made up in such a different way. And pastoral care is there to support the pupils in the business of learning. We are here to learn. We hope to give every pupil transformational education, and we do that by supporting them in many different ways. Your child will be assigned to a form group, and the form group will meet every day in the same room with their form tutor. And this is key in the pastoral provision. The form tutor will be your child's and your main point of contact in school, and the tutor will offer consistent practical and emotional support as your child establishes themselves in secondary school. We appreciate it is a big contact of a year 6 teacher to having multiple teachers. Your child will become your main source of information about their day at school, as well as the MyCAS app. Ask them about their day, about their lessons and the co-curricular activities they participated in, but also create an open dialogue with your child about the good and perhaps more challenging aspects of their day. Have Miss Begum as your form tutor. As your head of year, she's worked as a form tutor and a head of year, and she's willing to support your children to be in the best possible place in year 7. Also part of our pastoral programme are our assemblies, and the assemblies cover key current or historical, political, cultural, religious topics and which is taught by our form tutors, who are all classroom teachers, and pupils develop the knowledge, skills and attributes they need to manage their lives now and in the future. PSHE education helps pupils to stay healthy, safe and prepared for life and work in modern Britain, and it's also an opportunity for the form group to bond and next slide, please. So at BMA, we are proud of our pupils, and they're ambitious, they're courageous, they're immaculate, attentive, composed and respectful. And during tutor time, we really work as a group to prepare ourselves to demonstrate those virtues in the week. We also, the tutor group will reflect on their previous week and set goals for the coming week. It's really important that the tutor group feels cohesive and supportive to each other. Within tutor time, we also have a brilliant Times Tables Rockstars programme, which is, I mean, was one of my favourite parts of the week as a form tutor. Each week concentrates on a different times table with a recommended consolidation week for rehearsing the tables. So it's practiced every third week or so. And this format has very successfully boosted times tables recall speed for hundreds of thousands of pupils in primary schools and secondary schools. Over 16,000 schools use the Timetables Rockstars programme really successfully, and it is a highlight of the week. We also have a Word of the Week programme where pupils are introduced to the roots of the words that we use. I mean, 60% of words in English have Latin or Greek roots, and so we teach the root words so that pupils have use not only in their written work but also when they are speaking to colleagues and to peers as well as staff. And we reward pupils for using that language around school. Next slide, please. Each week, each year group will meet for an assembly in our assembly hall. And this is an important time for the year group to come together as a family to learn and to reflect. The assembly topic will be mapped out in advance. It will be linked to our PSHE and tutor time topics, but also what is happening in the current political climate, what is happening culturally in the UK and further afield. We will have different speakers each week, so sometimes a head of year, sometimes a head of subject, sometimes a member of the senior leadership or the middle leadership team, as well as Miss Begum. And when we are allowed, we will also have guest speakers in school. Miss Begum will also use this will also use this opportunity to praise pupils set for pupils. It's an opportunity for pupils to congratulate their colleagues, to show pride in their peers in their form group, but also in their wider year group. Next slide, please. Personal, social health and economic education is a really important subject to help pupils build resilience, as well as understand their mental health, emotional literacy and social skills. We also cover British values and spiritual development. This is a standalone lesson weekly delivered by the form tutor. It is age appropriate and changes each year as the pupils work through the school. In year 7, each half term will have a different foci: being me in my world, celebrating healthy me, relationships and changing me. These are important lessons to help pupils understand themselves, their environment and also as they head into adolescence, the changes that that brings, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. We have embedded mindfulness and philosophy throughout these lessons to really build on that sense of the form group as a family, supporting each other and learning together. It's an absolute pleasure to have been able to speak to you today, and I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Otu. If I could have the next slide, please. As Dr. Otu mentioned, PSHE will cover several topics that will create a room for debates and discussions. We want our pupils to have a safe environment to speak and contribute their ideas. This ties in with this next segment that I'd like to talk about, which is student leadership. We value what our students have to say. Pupils at Bobby Moore Academy have a voice. Our student leadership team is managed by Ms. Drucker and heads of houses. You will meet your heads of houses on your first day of school. Students are placed in one of 4 houses. We have Shelley House, Newton House, Owens and Seacole. Within each house, there is a house captain, and we also have elected house representatives in each form. So some of you might even be elected as house representatives when you start in September. Areas of uncertainty or ideas that you would like to propose can be put forward to the student leadership team. Next slide, please. Mr. Botting mentioned earlier on in the PowerPoint that there are lots and lots of co-curricular and enrichment activities. Here is a list of all of those activities on the screen. If you enjoy a competition or to try out a new challenge, at Bobby Moore Academy, we also offer a range of different co-curricular activities. Miss Entercott, who is our Director of Co-curricular, and staff at Bobby Moore Academy will host a variety of activities you can take part in throughout the term. There is something there for everyone. You might have already found the club that you want to join in September. Some of these run during lunchtime and others will run after school. I'm definitely excited to run my henna club and join poetry performance as well as meditation. Next slide, please. Lastly, I'd like to talk about the Dret Read programme. At Bobby Moore Academy, we run this programme. Over the course of a pupil's time at Bobby Moore Academy, they will be exposed to a broad and rich variety of texts which will challenge and develop both their reading and their wider understanding. We expect our students to have their reading book with them every day. We expect our students to read for at least 20 to 30 minutes every day. With the Dret Read programme, you will be immersed in reading 20 minutes each day in the morning. The fun reasons for this, it gives you a chance to share great stories with your friends, teachers, and of course family. And hearing about the lives of different people across the world through stories might even give us ideas about places we want to travel to, experiences we want to have, or people we want to meet. The practical reasons as to why we do this programme is because research shows that being read to, even from a tricky book, increases your reading age. It also increases our understanding of key vocabulary and learning new words. Having a higher reading age means you can understand more in lessons and out of them. In year 7 and 8, this will help improve your results in the STAR Reader tests. And then when you progress into Key Stage 4, this will help improve your work in preparation for GCSE. The more you read, the more words you will know and the better your writing will be. Some of you might be familiar with STAR Reader. For those that are not, STAR Reader includes assessments that have questions with multiple choice answers, testing your reading skills, checking your comprehension, and also checking how well you understand the author's craft. So I'm really excited to come into your form classes and watch you read together as a whole form. Next slide, please. Before I hand back to Mr. Botting, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the parents and carers, and of course Year 7 to you for joining this live event, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday the 2nd of September in full uniform with your equipment, with your pencil case. Thank you. Over to Mr. Botting.
Thank you very much, Ms. Begum and Dr. O'Toole, and thank you, parents and pupils, for your attention through that. There's some questions that have already been posted up, and please do continue to add questions in the Q&A session. First relates to when we'll receive the pack, the information letters about all the things that we need. So those packs will be with families before we break up at the end of term on the 23rd of July. There are a few final details that we are just putting in place following some of the recent government announcements about back to school. So you'll receive that pack, which includes all of the relevant information. The crucial things, as Ms. Begum said, about uniform and equipment are on our website, www.bobbymooreacademy.co.uk, so you can always find information that you might need about those. But obviously we want to make sure that parents have a full pack of information, and as I say, that will be published to parents before the end of our term. A question about the times of the school day. So the school day starts at 8:25, so the gates will close at 8:25 and we'll immediately go to pupil lineup to get everybody in ready for the first lesson and for the reading activity at the start of the day. The programme of lessons and tutor activities finishes at 3:10 in the afternoon. As Ms. Begum said, many of the co-curricular activities then run on through till 4:15, 4:30 in the afternoon, depending on what the nature of that activity is. But the core hours of the school are 8:25 in the morning through to 3:10 in the afternoon. A question also around packed lunches. Yes, so pupils can bring a packed lunch. That is fine. So we have our canteen facility, which accommodates a large number of pupils and allows us to have them seated inside for their lunch with their peer group. We also have some outside seating as well, and pupils can bring a packed lunch. A clarification around shorts. Are boys allowed to wear shorts in the summer? So it's trousers for the formal school uniform, shorts for the PE kit. So they're not allowed to wear shorts as part of the formal school uniform, but of course they can bring their PE shorts for sports activities. So next question. There's quite a few coming into the chat, which is great. We'll try and get through these. Are the pupils going to have a day in school to meet their peer group and their teachers? I think, Dr. O'Toole, perhaps I can pass over to you to say a few words about our induction programme for Year 7s and how we enable them to meet their peer group and their teachers.
Yes, so Year 7s will be in school with Year 11. Obviously, they were a very separate year group focused on different things, but the Year 7s will be introduced to their form tutors of the school and shown how to move around the school. So how we walk in the corridors, how we go up the stairs, how we line up, all the kind of procedural elements of school life will be shown and practiced to pupils in those introductory days. We will also work through to make sure pupils have their logins to computers, show them how to use the library, how to borrow books, how we access the canteen, the type of food available. That will all be run through with all the pupils within their form groups. So again, it's a really important bonding time between form tutors and form groups before being introduced to the subject teachers and shown the different subject areas. So there will be an in-person induction in September for the pupils in Year 7.
Great. Hopefully that answers that. And just to say, as Dr. O'Toole said, you know, we will be having that Year 7 programme with a staggered start, a staggered return to term for the other year groups. So Year 7s will have an opportunity to get to grips with the school without it being totally full. As I say, details on that will be confirmed in the pack that follows. Just a re-clarification on school start time. The start of the day is 8:25. We do run a breakfast club facility on site beforehand, and information on that will be shared in the pack as well. So there is an opportunity for those pupils who need to come and have some breakfast to have that before 8:25, and the end of the day 3:10 in the afternoon. Information about where we can buy the uniform. So our uniform provider, Calsa Schoolwear, based in Bethnal Green. Information about them is on our website. They stock the full range of school items, so the things that you buy from there, they definitely are. They definitely have the stock for that. What we'd recommend to parents is obviously not to leave that right till the end of the summer holidays, as it can get very, very busy down at Calsa at Bethnal Green if it's right at the end of the holidays. A question about food options, including vegetarian and halal. So yes, we do have a range of food options available through the canteen, including vegetarian meals and halal food. We also make allowances for any other dietary requirements, for example, allergies and so forth. The key thing there with those that are of a medical nature is to make sure, please, that we have that information in advance, and details on how to share that will be included in the pack. Okay. Questions on whether girls are permitted to wear wraparound hijab or headscarf. So I'm going to defer to Ms. Begum on this in terms of exactly what we say about the wearing of headscarves in school. Ms. Begum, perhaps you can deal with this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Botting. In terms of hijab, we expect our students to wear a plain black or grey hijab. If it's the wraparound ones, the jersey ones, that is fine, as long as it is plain and there are no diamantes on it, there are no patterns on it. Absolutely plain, grey or black. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Begum. A question also around days when pupils don't wear uniform. So no, we expect pupils to be in full school uniform every day. You know, we obviously, for things like sports day, our sports day will be running next week, and on that day pupils will come in sports kit. But as a school, we don't really go in for non-uniform days. It is something which we find there are better things that we can do to, for instance, raise money for charity, and we've had great success with that over the course of this year. So that is not something that parents and families need to be particularly concerned about. A few questions about the school bag. Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's exactly what pupils need, and we provide a subsidy on the school bag. We provide a subsidy on the cost of it in the first place, and then a further subsidy for those families who are in receipt of free school meals. Details on how to purchase the school bag from us will be included in the pack that follows after this. In terms of the system of payment for lunches, so that's a good question. We use a system system called Parent Pay for collecting all payments at school. So we're a cashless school. Firstly, it's a really efficient system. It's also really safe for our pupils because it means they're not then carrying cash around either in school or on their way to and from school. Pupils will be set up on the cashless system in September. They will register for that, and we include information on the thumb scan system that we use for that, because that's really secure, and details on that will be published in the pack at the end of term. In terms of needing to get hold of particular members of staff, for example, if you need to get in touch with our inclusion team, then the best thing to do is to get in touch via the main reception email address, which is contact@bobbymooreacademy.co.uk, and then queries can be passed on. Where there are specific items that need to be brought to the attention of members of staff, that can then be sent out that way, which is a really effective way of making sure that communications go to the right places. Just a clarification on the school lunch. That is so pupils will go up and pay using their thumbprint that will connect to the Parent Pay account that is registered to their name, and that means that they can access that payment for their lunch, and that also is the same for if they want to buy a snack at break time, for example. So that's the system that we operate there. A few questions around the uniform for girls. Girls' uniform is effectively the same as the boys. They can choose to wear trousers, or they can wear the knee-length skirt that our Year 7 pupils showed in the video. They can choose to wear trousers. So it is, it is either an exact replica of what the boys' uniform is in terms of blazer, shirt, tie, so that everybody is looking smart. Girls do have the opportunity to wear a skirt should they wish. The question in terms of whether we're an inclusive school, whether we have a facility that provides for children with special educational needs. Absolutely, we are a fully inclusive school. We support pupils regardless of their prior attainment and regardless of their special educational need. If that's something you wish to discuss further, then I suggest if you contact the main reception and we can set up a correspondence with a member of our inclusion department about that. Do we have athletics for after school? Yes, we absolutely do. That doesn't run year round, although we are looking at whether there is, perhaps a running club, for instance, that can be running all the way around. This academic year, Athletics Club has run during the summer term, providing pupils with a good run up, no pun intended, for Sports Day as part of the end of year events. A question about lockers. So the lockers that are in school will be a privilege for our sixth form pupils. Pupils in the lower school don't need to carry such a huge volume of equipment and items that they would need to have a locker. So that is something that will be eligible for our sixth formers as part of that. So a clarification around school lunch. So if parents are registered for free school meals, then they will continue, providing the registration is moved over, they'll continue to receive free school meals. That is all handled automatically by the local authority. If you do need to pay for school lunch, what you need to do is to top up the parent pay account, and details on parent pay will be included in the pack of information that follows. The after school clubs are indeed all free, so thank you for that question. That's something that our teachers and support staff provide as part of pupils' educational entitlement, and we really want to make sure that every pupil is accessing some of those co-curricular and enrichment opportunities. A question around uniform costs. So if you, again, if you are eligible for free school meals, there may be support available through your local authority. Obviously, we have parents here at BMA who come from Newham, also Tower Hamlets, Hackney, Waltham Forest. So the first port of call with support around uniform is always with your local authority, and there should be a section on their website about that. A question on the communication app, the My Child at School app. So the sign-up process for that will be set out in the information pack, and alongside that, it is also it's something that you can access just directly through the website. Obviously, we need to make sure that is super secure in terms of pupil information on there. So that will be that information will be shared again in the details there. Questions about school trips. Yeah, so as parents, I'm sure will be aware, we've been very limited in the opportunities that we've had over the course of this year to run educational visits. That is something that we are taking advice on for next academic year. I strongly hope that we will have lots of chances for pupils to be engaging in learning opportunities outside of the classroom. So please watch this space in terms of what school trips will be available. At this stage, obviously, the kind of the first piece to get back up and running is the very straightforward ones like sports fixtures and so forth. So we'll be able to get those hopefully sorted very quickly. The kind of broader educational visits, geography field trips, for instance, that is going to take a little bit more work once we see what the government guidance is on those sorts of visits for September and what our providers can support with. Just seeing about a question about Breakfast Club. Yeah, absolutely. So Breakfast Club runs not on the very first 2 days of term, but once we get into the first full week of term, Breakfast Club will run every day. Again, there's a range of things on offer in Breakfast Club in terms of some hot food options as well as breakfast cereals, and it's something that we are really keen to make sure that those pupils who need that provision can access that. Details on activating parent pay will be included in the pack. A good question there about whether the information in this meeting is going to be shared. Yes, this meeting we record and make accessible both to those parents who've missed it and if people need to follow it up later on. In terms of transport to schools, some good questions about this. So we are a no parking school. That we are in the Olympic Park, and so we are constrained in that by the regulations from the Olympic Park Authority. So we strongly encourage all pupils to make their way by public transport, on foot or on bicycle. We have secure bicycle parking facilities here within school, so they come in through the yellow gates, and there's a bike parking facility right there that they can leave their bicycle and helmet in, and it is safe and secure throughout the school day. But as I say, we are a no parking school, other than that. Just to reiterate, yes, we have pupils can bring packed lunches as well. They don't have to have the canteen lunch, but they're very welcome to bring a packed lunch. Just looking to see if we've got any other questions that are unanswered. Oh yes, a good question here about are pupils put into sets? So are they grouped by prior attainment for learning? And the answer on that is that we do that in some subject areas where we feel that is going to have the greatest benefit. In our experience, the variations in terms of kind of prior attainment starting points for pupils that is greatest tends to be in mathematics, and so for that reason we will often group pupils not entirely by sort of rank order, but more by what they need in order to make further and more rapid progress in maths. In most other subject areas through the course of Year 7, they will be in mixed prior attainments from there. Information on if you need to provide any medication or allergy information, again, that will all be included in the pack, so you can correspond directly with our admin team about that. A question about whether students receive any benefits from being part of the Olympic facilities. We have again this year been very constrained in what's been available to us there. In terms of what's currently ongoing, so connections with some of the other organisations that are here within the Olympic Park, such as the BBC Music Studios. We've got some really productive partnerships with them. At the present time, we don't have things like discounted memberships with the the swimming pool or anything like that. But as we grow to full size over the next 3 years in the secondary phase and a bit longer in the primary, it's certainly something that we may wish to explore. A question about homework club. I'm going to hand that one to Miss Begum, who I think is going to be better placed to talk about homework club. Miss Begum, how do we operate homework club? It would be great to hear a bit more detail.
Thank you, Mr. Botting. A homework club runs from 3:10 to 3:45. Yes. And if your child wants to stay longer to complete homework, that's absolutely fine. There will be a member of staff who will be supporting and supervising, and that will run on a specific day for specific year groups. Hopefully that answers the question.
Thank you, Ms. Begum. Yep, absolutely. So we make sure there's plenty of comprehensive support for pupils there. In terms of information about what music, art and drama are taught as part of the curriculum, we could talk for a great length of time about the exact content. We are in the process of updating our school website at the moment. Full information on those curriculum areas will be there. So please do ensure that you avail yourself of the information there. And of course, as well as the formal curriculum in music, art and drama, there is of course the co-curricular provision as well. You know, some fantastic opportunities there, for instance, in terms of the music ensembles that sit alongside the formal teaching in music. Okay. As I say, a few more questions about school bags. That is information that will be included in the information pack. In terms of the bus route that comes through the Olympic Park, off the top of my head, I can't remember what the bus number is, but again, we include a transport guide for parents that is updated regularly as we go through the course of the academic year.
Sorry, Mr. Botting, it's the 339.
Dr. O'Toole has reminded me it is the 339. That is great. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. So yes, but obviously, as I say, we encourage people where possible, if they can walk, if they can cycle or bring a scooter, then they're welcome to lock that in the sheds here at schools within the school gates. I know many of you will be familiar with the storage area. It's outside of school, but the pupil bike store is actually within the school grounds. So that is there. In terms of the use of our library provision as part of the after-school club, yes, at the moment, one of the things that I'm sure parents will be aware of is that we've had to keep different year groups separately from one another. We're hoping that will cease to be quite so stringent in September, and we'll have more opportunities to host support sessions in the library. I know that's something that we are looking. A question about the walking route to the stadium or past the stadium. There are some days of the year on which that stadium route can be restricted. We notify parents in advance through our school newsletter so that parents have that information. Just checking, so the induction pack will be with families by the end of next week, which will answer a lot of the kind of further questions around things like the My Child at School app, so that you can see that, and also around the collection of school bags. And as I say, other information is available via the school website. Just seeing if we've got any further questions that we are team are not already dealing with. Thank you very, very much, parents, for your thoughts and questions throughout this afternoon. It's reminded me of a couple of the things we've got to make sure do go in the information pack, because obviously, you know, each year we do update that to make it very specific to the needs of the pupils in the incoming year. So on that note, I would just like to thank you all for your attendance this afternoon. As I say, this is going to be recorded so that you can get back and watch bits if you missed the start, or for those families who unfortunately missed it altogether. And my thanks also to Miss Begum and Dr. O'Toole for their time this afternoon and thoughts. And we will be in touch with the information pack before July the 23rd, which is the end of our school term. So there's plenty of opportunity to digest all of that. And we really look forward to welcoming you in September. We hope to have plenty of chances to actually meet in real life and to welcome parents into the school at that stage. So thank you all very much, and have a very good afternoon and a great summer holiday when it comes. And Year 6 pupils, we very much look forward to seeing you in Year 7 on Thursday, the 2nd of September. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.